No tractors, no tools, no land. Just me and not farming with 2 stock quads in the middle of no man's land. This is where our journey begins. But we aren't staying at the bottom for long. We are going from absolute zero to multi-million-dollar empire. Massive fields, factories, and one big goal: finding every single gold nugget hidden in these hills. But dreams don't pay the bills. We are broke. So step 1. Selling whatever wood we can find to buy our first tool. First sale down, $589. We are not wasting time though. Loading up the next batch right now. The goal is to double our money every single trip. And trust me, it's going to add up quickly. 2 more rundowns and strategy is paying off. We are sitting at 23.56, but we are not keeping it. We are reinvesting into chainsaw and trailer. This changes everything. Now we can stack up the logs and haul way more wood on every single loop. Because seriously, how long can you keep doing the exact same thing? Well, just long enough to afford this. I'm taking those earnings and buying a mower immediately. No breaks, no downtime. I'm firing it up and attacking the grass right now. Mowing brings in great money, definitely. But the best play here is multitasking. So I'm back to the logs. Let's get everything working at the same time. Time for a quick switch. Not farming takes the chainsaw and I'm jumping back on the mower. It's the best way to keep the momentum going. Nobody gets bored, spirits stay high, and we keep pushing toward that big goal. You probably expected a long mowing montage here, but I'm switching gears to boost the bank account. Why? Because I've got my eye on specific tractor. Which one? Let's just say it's a surprise. Stay tuned. My pick, a little John Deere and a forage wagon. It's humble but effective given our limited budget. Not Farming had the same idea. He bought a matching tractor to run a mower. 2 tractors mean double the speed and power. We are about to crank up the profits and keep the gameplay fresh. As you can see, this forage wagon is a serious money maker. It brings in a lot of cash in very short time. But I'm stopping here and I'm jumping straight into the tractor with a mower. It's time to cut some grass and get the next load ready. Meanwhile, Not Farming isn't standing around watching me work. He's back in the forest, cutting down trees to keep the money flowing. We have a simple rule: no downtime. If we want to build a mega farm, we have to keep working and earning constantly, because in this game, standing still means going backward. Straight after that, I'm heading out to sell the wood, and check out this massive trailer Not Farming bought for us. This beast allows us to make serious money just from the single trip. No more jokes here. Once the sale is done, I'm jumping right back into the tractor. I need to collect all the grass my friend prepared for me. It might take a little while to pick up, but trust me, it's totally worth it. The profit is going to be solid. Now it's my turn to hit the fields. I picked up new small mower that fits my tractor perfectly and I'm starting right now. But here's the change. We are not selling this as raw grass anymore. The plan is to turn all of this into silage. Why? Because in the near future, silage will sell for much more money. It is a way better deal than just selling simple grass like we did before. To make the pickup faster, I'm organizing the grass into neat weed rows. And look behind me, Not Farming is already collecting it. We are not wasting a single second. That is the whole point of this series, optimizing everything through teamwork. Let me know in the comments, do you guys help each other like this, or do you prefer rivalry to see who makes more money? Now I'm repeating the process on the patch I just mowed. I need to set up these weed rows to minimize the trips for the wagon. As you can see, there is always something happening here. Nobody stops. We need maximum silage to hit our targets fast. This cash funds our gold mining operations, which is the key to our ultimate prize, the multi-million-dollar mega farm. And in the meantime, I'm squeezing in another wood run. Just a quick trip to sell the timber and grab a few extra dollars. Every bit of cash helps. As I mentioned earlier, the time has finally come to collect all the grass I mowed. I'm picking up these weed rows one by one, filling up the wagon to the limit. And while I'm driving, take a closer look at the background. Do you see new structures? This is exactly where our extra cash from the wood sales went. We decided to reinvest every dollar into a new small greenhouses and proper silo. This silo is crucial for our plan, and we are going to store all this green material right here to turn it into silage. The whole operation is moving smoothly so far. Once the silo is full, we'll move to the next big step: compacting the pile. We need to crush it down perfectly so the fermentation process can finally begin. As you can probably tell, doing this job solo is, well, it's a bit of a grind. Moving all the grass by myself would honestly take hours of driving back and forth. But there is a method to this madness. Right now, not farming is still out in the forest taking down more trees. We really need that extra timber cash to repair our budget after recent spending. But don't worry, he won't be long. As soon as he finishes up there, he's coming straight here to help. And trust me, once we team up, the job will go away way faster. So we are back on the quest for this part of the job. Using these little machines is actually a very smart move. Because they are small, we can both fit inside the silo and at the exact same time. This means we cover more ground and finish the compacting way faster. I also had an idea to automate this in future. I wanted to check if we could hire a worker to do this boring part for us. But as it turned out, that is impossible. The AI just can't handle this task, so we are stuck doing it ourselves. We are not wasting any time here. A new day has started and we are back to work. This time we switch roles slightly. Not farming is mowing the grass in front and I am following right behind him. I am arranging everything into nice clean windrows to make it easier to collect later. You can also see the time has passed. Look at the greenhouses. They have already produced their first pallets of goods. This is great news for our budget. I will definitely collect them in a moment, but first thing first, we have to finish what we have started here. Now let's make a quick switch to the harvest. Our little greenhouses have been working hard, producing fresh flowers and mushrooms. The downside is, I have to load every single crate by hand. It takes a bit of effort, but I came prepared. To handle this, I bought a new trailer specifically for this job. The plan is simple. Fit everything onto this one trailer. I want to sell it and all in a single run, so I don't waste any time driving back and forth to the shop. That sale was a huge success. I'm guessing most of that profit came from the mushrooms. Those things are absolute gold mines right now. We are not holding onto the cash though. It goes straight to the upgrading the farm. To be honest, our old mowers were just too small. They didn't meet our expectations for speed and efficiency, so we bought 2 brand new units. Ideally, these should be paired with front mowers for a full combo, but let's be real, we can't afford the big tractors for a run, that kind of setup yet. So we have to improvise. We are driving information one behind the other. By overlapping perfectly, we make sure not a single blade of grass is left standing. And in the meantime, we made a massive investment. We finally bought our very own sawmill. This building is not a game changer in our timber business. From now on, we are not just selling raw logs to the shop anymore. Every single tree we cut is being delivered right here. We are taking full control of the wood instead of quick cash. We are building a production chain to maximize our profit in our long run. We had our moment of joy with the new investment, but now, back to the reality. I need to hold all this grass to the silo so it can start fermenting. But the best part is, we are back in full cooperation mode. Not farming is driving right in front of me. He's organizing the scattered grass into perfect windrows. Thanks to him, I can pick it up immediately with the wagon and the whole process goes twice as fast. With the silo finally filled to the brim, we are moving to the next stage. Now we have to compact the entire pile. It's time to drive back and forth to compress the grass as much as possible. We need to push all the air out to reach 100% density. It takes a bit of patience, but it's absolutely crucial. Only then we can cover it up and let the fermentation process officially begin. With the silo finally compacted and covered with the trap, our work here is done for now. But here is the problem. Fermentation takes a long time. And as you know, by now we cannot afford to sit around with zero income while we wait. So we are moving our whole operation to a new field, right next to our sawmill. We need to cut a lot of grass because we have a plan to generate cash right now. To do this, we are investing in a completely new machine. It will allow us to process and sell this grass in different form without waiting for fermentation. What exactly is this mystery machine? Stay tuned. You are about to see it in action in just a moment. So for this step, I've been assigned with the windrowing duty. My goal is to prepare the field so everything runs smoothly and we don't miss any grass. Meanwhile, not farming to a quick trip to the shop and pick up our new toy. And here it is. Take a look at this small square baler. It produces a very small bales, which might look a bit funny compared to the big round ones. But honestly, They are exactly what we need right now. Considering the low price tag, this machine is actually a fantastic deal. This system works perfectly. I am driving ahead, laying down the clean windrows, and not farming is following right behind me, instantly turning those loose grass into compact bales ready for sale. Now that not farming has finished his run and the field is covered in these little bales, it is my turn to step in. I have to pick up every single one of them manually and load them into the trailer. It might look like a lot of physical work, but to be honest, it's actually quite satisfying because these square bales are very small and lightweight and I can move so fast. It really won't take a long time to clear this entire area, and I throw them on the back, and as I throw them on the back, I'm just thinking about one thing. Every single bale landing on this trailer means instant profit. A few more minutes of work and we will be seeing nice bonus hitting our bank account. And now we have the one final box to check off before we call it a day. It's time to create our very first field on this farm. This will finally give us the freedom to plant absolutely anything we want. For this special task, we picked up two small plows. They are small, but they are perfectly matched to the power of our tractors. Our strategy here is simple. We divided the work area right down the middle. I take one half, not farming takes the other. This way, the work goes fast and we don't get in each other's way. This is our last job for today, but make sure to stick around if you want to see how we mine gold. We are kicking off the day with the absolute best part of this job, seeing everything we produce overnight. I'm currently heading out to sell the greenhouse good, but look at the background. Not farming is emptying the sawmill, and right from the start you can see that the buying this place was a brilliant investment. Just look at the balance spike. Over $70,000 just hit the account from the wood alone. And combined with my sales, we are starting this morning with almost 90 grand. Meanwhile, Not Farming has been busy shopping. He picked up a brand new tractor and a massive seeder to go with it. But the coolest thing about this machine is how we can use it together. It's actually designed for the two-man crew. While one person is driving the tractor up front, the other one rides on the back of the seeder. It makes the gameplay so much more interactive and fun. Now we are truly farming as a team. Okay, enough fun and games for now. We have actually work to do. I'm jumping straight to my tractor with the plow attached. My task right now is to mark out the boundaries for the new field. Since we plan to plant potatoes later today, this spot seems perfect. But before I drop the plow to the ground, I need to stop for a second. I need to figure out how exactly big the field should be. Looking at the sheer size of this plant field, I realized one thing immediately. I need a bigger tractor. I simply cannot imagine carrying around this huge area with this tiny plow all by myself. It would take forever and quite frankly, it would be a nightmare. But hey, remember this massive payday this morning? That cash gave me freedom to make my life easier. So I'm investing in a powerful tractor with a much wider cultivator to speed up things. Every minute saved here brings us closer to the ultimate goal, the gold production later today. So let's not waste any more time. I'm firing up the new engine and starting to crave out this potato field right now. With the new field finally cultivated and ready, it's time for the main event, planting the potatoes. But here is the catch. Real potato machinery is insanely expensive. Even with the money we made this morning, the top tier equipment is just out of reach, so we have to start humble. This small planter will have to do it for now. It is real wood, but let's be honest, with such a small working with, covering this whole field is going to be a long grind. But hey, we have to start somewhere, right? After the heavy grind with the potatoes, it's time for a much needed change of pace. We are switching to something lighter and definitely more satisfying. While I was busy, Not Farming has been working hard, mowing down the entire field of grass. Now, someone has to tidy up this mess. And that someone is me. My job is to organize all this loose grass into clean, easy to collect windrows. But honestly, I'm not worried about the time at all. With this massive windrow attached to the back, we are covering a huge area with every single pass. Thanks to this width, these two fields will be done smoothly and efficiently in no time. While I was focused on getting the windrows perfect, Not Farming was right on my tail with the baller. And I have to admit, the yield looks fantastic. We had the bales scattered all over the field. Now comes to the critical step, wrapping. We are turning this grass into silage, which sells for much bigger price than raw grass. But the real game changer here is efficiency. Remember the concrete silo we bought earlier? Well, with this method, we don't need to touch it. No more driving back and forth for hours to compact the pile. I just wrap the bale once and drop it. And the fermentation happens right here on the field. It is faster, easier, and saves us so much headache. Of course, we absolutely cannot ignore the forest work. It is the backbone of our budget right now. You saw with your own eyes how much cash that sawmill generated for us this morning. It is basically printing money, but there is one rule: a sawmill is a hungry machine. If you want to see another massive payday like that, we cannot let it run empty. So we are heading straight to the forest. We need to cut down more trees and restock our timber inventory as fast as possible to keep the production chain alive. And finally, we are reaching the end of this marathon. There is just one last field to seed before I can officially call it a day. To be honest, I'm pretty exhausted and I want to finish strong. I need to get these seeds into the ground tonight so the crops can grow immediately. Once the last row is done and the field is truly planted, that's it. I'm parking this tractor in the shed and heading straight for a well-deserved rest. We are starting this new day with massive logistical operation. While I was away, Not Farming made a bold move and actually bought the local biogas plant. So the plan for this morning is strictly business. I'm hauling all these fermented silage bales straight into our new facility. Our priority is to fill the plant to the absolute limit to keep it running. However, looking at the sheer amount of bales we produce, I suspect they won't fit at all. But that's a good problem to have. Whatever is left, I will simply drive to the selling station and cash it. And if that wasn't enough action for one morning, look at what just rolled onto our field. We finally have our very first combine harvester working hard. Meanwhile, I decided to make a massive move. I went ahead and bought a dedicated potato harvester. Now, I won't lie to you, this investment was huge. Just like the grain combine, this machine cost us a fortune. But there is a method to this madness. We are not just going to sell this potato to the shop for pennies. No, we have a much better plan. We are going to use this entire harvest to feed our biogas plant. Potatoes are excellent for fermentation. This strategy will generate massive profit, and I am confident that this expensive machine will pay for itself in no time. But honestly, I just can't keep doing the exact same task over and over again. So we are doing a quick switch. Not Farming is taking one for the team and jumping onto the potato harvester. Good luck to him with that grind. And as for me, I'm climbing up the cab of the grain combine. My job is simple. I'm picking up exactly where he left off, and I'm going to finish harvesting this field and make sure every last bit of crop ends up in the tank. And now it is time to go back to our roots. I had to mow this massive field, and honestly, I haven't done this in a while and I almost forgot how enjoyable this is. There is no complex strategy here. I'm just driving forward, finding my route. Watching all the grass disappear strip by strip, seeing the progress bar slowly filling up, it is strangely satisfying and peaceful. But obviously we can't just leave the grass scattered like this. It would be a nightmare to bear and we can't afford to waste a single blade of grass. Why? Because the pressure is from the two sides. First, our bank account is running low, so we need cash fast. But second, and maybe more important, we have a hungry mouth to feed. A portion of this base is going directly to our cows. We need to secure their food supply first. Only after the animals are safe, we can sell the rest to fix our budget. So let's get this organized into withdrawals and get this job done. Not Farming has finished his run and the field is now dotted with fresh bales. So it's time for the cleanup crew, which is me. We are sticking exactly to the plan I mentioned earlier. The priority is our livestock. The first few loads are going straight to the barn to ensure our cows are well fed. But looking at this yield, we have more than enough. So once the animals are secure, every remaining of bale goes directly to the sale point. We feed the cows and then we feed our bank account. The new day has dawned and we are standing with mission number 1, repairing our bank balance. I'm currently driving around collecting all the goods that were produced overnight. And honestly, the production was insane, just look at this. My small trailer is filling up instantly. There's a lot of product here, which means the profit is going to be huge. And we need every single penny of cash right now. Why? Because today is the big day. We are finally gathering the funds to start our gold production later today. But hold on, we can't jump straight to the gold yet. First we have to pay our dues on the field. I'm not going to lie to you, the tasks we have lined up for today are, well, pretty boring, but it's just standard repetitive field work. But you have to see the bigger picture. All this grinding is the necessary path that leads us to the ultimate goal. We have to finish this first so you can finally unlock the gold production. Before we move on, I have to make a quick detour. I have to fix this potato field. To be honest, the way it looks right now is driving me crazy. It turned out so messy and uneven that I simply cannot look at this. And finally, we have arrived at the moment we've been working towards since day one. We are starting our gold production. Don't expect spectacular mining operation just yet. It looks messy, but we are collecting dirt and stones where the gold might be hiding. As you can see, we don't have any fancy mining equipment. Our standard tractors are serving as front loaders, and we are hauling everything in regular trailers straight to the factory. It's a humble start, but this dirt is our ticket to... But we cannot get lost in gold fever just yet. It is time to snap back to reality and return to our roots. Forestry. We must never forget basics that got us here. The sawmill is the true bread and butter of our farm, but this is a hungry machine. It needs a constant supply of raw materials to keep working, so I am heading straight back to the woods. My job is to deliver a fresh batch of timber and ensure the production line never stops. And since I hate standing still, I'm going to squeeze in one more quick class. In between the big jobs, I'm jumping back to the tractor and roll a few extra bales. It might not be a huge batch like before, but honestly, every single bale counts. This is essentially free money lying on the ground, just waiting to be picked up, so why leave it there? And the moment the last bale is done, I'm switching focus. I'm taking the trailer and loading it up with stones again. I need to keep pressure on. This raw material is crucial for our gold factory. We are topping up the production line with as much rock as we can, because the more material we process, the closer we get to that first shiny bar of gold. Since not farming has been busy wrapping more bales, someone has to pick up the slack. And naturally, the lucky person is me again. I'm hauling the fresh batch straight to the biogas plant, but we are not feeding them all at once. We are stacking them up right there on the side as the buffer. This way the plant has constant fuel source waiting nearby. It ensures the generator keeps running and printing money even when we are busy with other tasks. We have one final expansion to make today. We are carving out one last field from scratch, and starting by plotting the outer boundary first. This outline defines exactly how big the new area will be, so we don't drive blindly. Not farming is on his way to join me as a second now. The plan is simple, divide and conquer. We are splitting the field right down the middle. He takes his half, I take mine, and we will get there. Looking back at everything we achieved today, it feels like we lived through a whole week in just one day. Just think about it, we managed the massive grass and silage operation, we secured the food for our cows and kept the sawmill running non-stop. We survived the potato harvest and even expanded our territory with new fields. But most important is that we laid the groundwork for the future. With the biogas plant running and first delivery to the gold factory, the infrastructure is finally in place. It was the absolute grind, but we are ready. Now is the time to rest, because tomorrow we turn that dirt into pure gold. Before we check on our gold factory, we have some honest work to do first. We are kicking off the day with the wheat harvest. And as you can see, the teamwork is absolutely on point today. Not Farming is leading the charge, clearing the path with the combine, and I am right on his bumper, turning all that dropped straw into bales immediately. We are not wasting a second. This straw is basically a free bonus paycheck, so we are grabbing every bit of it to maximize our profit. Time to shake things up a bit. We are swapping seats for this next field. I am taking the captain's chair in the combine harvester. My job is to set the pace and keep the cutter bar moving. Meanwhile, if you look in the background, Not Farming has his hands full. He is managing the straw cleanup, but he is also on logistics duty. Whenever my tank gets full, he has to be right there with the trailer to unload me so I don't have to stop. It is a busy rotation, but it keeps the harvest moving smoothly. And now, the harvest is done and the trailers are fully loaded. It is time to head to the shop and clear everything out. We are selling every single grain of wheat and every bale of straw we produced. But to be honest, the crops are just a bonus today. Because the moment we have been waiting for is finally here. For the first time ever, we are selling our own gold bars. Not Farming grabbed the fresh bars straight from the production line and brought them down here with the rest of the goods. It looks surreal seeing those shiny bars next to our farm equipment. So let's sell it all and see if this gold business is really as profitable as we hoped. Now that the bank account is looking much healthier, the pressure is finally off. I can head back to the field with a bit more peace of mind to finish the cleanup. Those straw bales are still scattered out there, and I am not about to let them go to waste. Sure, it might not be gold bars, but straw is still pure profit waiting to be collected. It is easy work, and every extra dollar counts towards the next upgrade. Seeing the cash flow from our sales just confirmed one thing: we need to keep this factory fed, so we are doubling down immediately. Not Farming is back in the loader, filling the trailer with stones, while I run the transport leg straight to the plant. It works for now, but let's be honest, we can't do this forever. We definitely need to look into better equipment soon. My goal is to set this up so one person can handle the entire cycle solo. That would be a massive time saver for the farm. With 2 quick runs done, the gold factory is fully stocked and humming at max capacity. That gives us the green light to move on. And I am treating myself to a serious upgrade. I jumped into this massive new tractor paired with a high-speed baler. This is a whole different level of farming. I am sitting in a cool, air-conditioned cabin, completely unbothered by the weather outside. Plus, this baler is a beast because it allows for non-stop work. I don't have to stop and wait for it to wrap. I just keep driving forward and watch the bales fly out the back. That new equipment was fun, but it definitely left a dent in our wallet. So now, it is time for a reality check. I am rounding up all the other products our farm has produced recently. We are heading to the sell point to offload everything we have in stock. We really need this cash injection to recover our budget and keep us floating after those big expenses. Now I need to swing back to the field and pick up everything that new high-tech baler spit out. But this batch isn't for sale, it is going straight to our sheep. In the meantime, Not Farming made a huge investment and bought them a brand new barn. So now, they finally have a solid roof over their heads. It feels good to see the animals taken care of. This is how a proper farm is supposed to look. Now, we have to shift gears to the less exciting part of the day. It is time for seeding. I'm not going to lie, this is definitely not my favorite activity. But let's be real, someone has to do the dirty work. You can't have a harvest without putting seeds in the ground first. In the background, Not Farming is tackling similar tasks right now. Honestly, it is this exact cooperation that keeps the whole operation running smooth. Without this teamwork, the farm wouldn't function, and we certainly wouldn't be seeing any profits. But even the most boring tasks can be spiced up if you are creative enough. Not Farming is handling the steering up front, while I decided to hitch a ride on the back. I am literally hanging off the safety rail, supervising the seed flow from up close. It actually looks hilarious on camera, and honestly, it beats walking. This little stunt makes the whole job fly by without a single dull moment. We are kicking off a brand new day with some heavy-duty mowing. And just look at this upgrade. Not Farming went shopping and brought home this absolute beast, a brand new John Deere. He rigged it up with a massive front mower and a rear combination to match. This entire setup was funded by the massive sale of our factory and greenhouse products. We are reinvesting everything back into the business. Honestly, we are getting very close to becoming a fully self-sufficient empire. With the grass down, the clock is ticking to turn it into hay. Not Farming is following up with the tether to dry it out. But my job is to organize this chaos into clean windrows. And for this amount of grass, our old equipment just wouldn't cut it. So I brought out the big guns. This new rake is an absolute monster, easily one of the widest on the market. The working width is insane. It means fewer passes, less turning around, and creating massive rows that are perfect for the baler. Now that the windrows are perfectly lined up, it is time to wrap this up. And I have to say it again, this new baler is a total game changer. It runs flawlessly with zero issues. Now that the baling is wrapped up, we have a field full of fresh product waiting to be collected. But unlike the crops we harvested earlier, we are not selling a single one of these. We are keeping this entire batch right here on the farm because it is crucial for our livestock. I am loading them up and hauling them straight to the cow barn. This hay is the main ingredient for their diet, and we need to keep those feeders full if we want to maintain high milk production. So, it is a quick transport job, from the field directly to the feeding trough. Happy cows mean a profitable farm, so this delivery is top priority. And now we are moving to my absolute favorite task on this entire farm. It is time to feed the beast again, our gold factory. I am loading up the trailer with another heavy mix of stones and dirt, keeping my fingers crossed that this batch is hiding just as much treasure as the last one. But to be honest, seeing how profitable this is, we are starting to think bigger. We are seriously considering building a second wash plant right here to double our processing speed. We know the gold in this ground won't last forever, so the plan is to maximize our profits and squeeze every single ounce of gold out of this land before the resource eventually runs dry. Alright, shifting our focus back to the fields, because the wheat isn't going to harvest itself. I can see the combine sitting there with its pipe out and hazard lights flashing. That is the universal signal that the tank is absolutely bursting at the seams. So, step 1 is simple. I need to pull up the trailer and relieve the harvester of that heavy load. Just watch that stream of golden grain pouring out. It is honestly satisfying to watch. That right there is pure cash flowing into our trailer. Once that tank is empty, it is time for a little operator swap. I am climbing up the ladder and taking over the command center. There is still a solid chunk of the field left to clear, and I want to make sure we finish this cleanly. Settling into the seat, firing up the thresher, and dropping the header. Now we are in business. The goal here is precision. I want to keep these lines as straight as possible to maximize the width of the cutter bar. It is just me, the machine, and acres of wheat waiting to be cut. Let's get this done. We are wrapping up this marathon of a day by breaking some new ground. Not Farming and I are working side by side to carve out this massive new field. It is the perfect way to end the shift because we are literally expanding our territory for the future. And honestly, looking back at what we achieved today, it feels like we accomplished a week's worth of work. Just think about the milestones we hit. We kept the gold factory running, we hauled tons of stones, and we absolutely crushed the wheat harvest. We sold our first gold bars, which was a historic moment for the farm. And we didn't just sit on that cash, we reinvested it immediately into that beast of a John Deere, the new mowers, and the high-speed baler. Even the sheep got a massive upgrade with their new barn. The farm is growing faster than we ever imagined. But for now, the sun is setting and we are done. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. While Not Farming was busy hauling our goods to the shop and cashing in those checks, I decided to do a little shopping of my own. I quietly picked up this brand new tractor, and to make it a complete package, I grabbed a set of butterfly mowers that match it perfectly. He has no idea yet, but I am wasting no time. I am taking this beauty straight to the meadow to test it out immediately. Let's drop the decks and see what this new setup can really do. Now that the mowing is finished, we can't just leave this grass scattered all over the place. It needs to be organized, and I am not wasting any time. I am immediately hooking up our massive rake to get this job done properly. This isn't just any rake, it covers a huge amount of ground in a single pass. If I used smaller equipment here, I would be driving back and forth all day, burning fuel and wasting time. But with this setup, I can sweep everything into clean, heavy windrows very quickly. Watching the grass pile up into these perfect lines is oddly satisfying. And most importantly, this makes the next step so much easier. The baler will be able to pick this up at full speed without missing a spot. With the windrows laid out perfectly, the stage is set for the main event. It is time to fire up the baler and turn all this loose grass into something useful. I am dropping the pickup and driving straight into the first row. This is where all that preparation with the rake pays off. Because the lines are so straight and thick, the baler is constantly fed with material. It is swallowing these massive rows without even blinking. You can see the machine working hard, compressing everything tight, and then spitting out a perfect bale out the back. It is a smooth, rhythmic process. 1 minute it is just a pile of grass on the ground, and the next it is a neat, compact package ready for transport. Before we know it, this entire field will be dotted with fresh bales, and we will be ready to collect. Now that the bales are pressed, we need to turn this grass into high-quality silage, and for that we need to seal them up tight. So, I am deploying our brand new wrapper, and honestly, this machine is a masterpiece of engineering. The biggest selling point here is its incredible versatility. It doesn't matter what we feed it, round bales, square bales, different sizes, this machine handles absolutely everything. In the past, we might have needed separate equipment for different shapes, but this one wrapper does it all. Just watch how it grabs the bale and spins it. It applies those layers of plastic perfectly to ensure the fermentation process starts immediately. Because it can handle these massive silage bales so easily, it is hands down one of the most profitable investments we have made. It saves us time, it saves us hassle, and it guarantees we get the best product possible for our animals. And now for a complete change of scenery. We are trading the open fields for the deep forest because it is time to supply our furniture factory. To do this efficiently, we needed some serious firepower. Just look at what not farming is operating over there. That new harvester is an absolute beast. It grabs the tree, cuts it, strips the branches, and slices it into perfect logs in a matter of seconds. Watching it work is mesmerizing. It is clearing the forest at an incredible pace. And to keep up with that monster, I am on logistics duty. I've got this massive forestry trailer hooked up behind me. The capacity on this thing is insane. It allows me to load up a huge amount of timber in a single run. This means fewer trips back and forth, and we can transport everything straight to the factory and sawmill at lightning speed. And for the grand finale of this journey, we are returning to the new field we carved out recently. There is a massive amount of work ahead of us here, and no time to waste. I am starting off by organizing all the material into clean, heavy windrows. My goal is to make these lines as straight as possible to set the stage for not farming. Once I am done, he is going to follow up with the press to turn all this hard work into perfect bales. After that, we'll team up for one last push to collect everything and sell the entire batch for a massive profit. Looking back at where we started, the progress we've made is honestly mind-blowing. Not long ago, this farm was a fraction of the size it is today. We started with basic equipment and small fields, and now we are operating a multi-industry empire. Think about what we've achieved just in this stretch. We've mastered the gold industry, turning raw stones and dirt into pure, profitable gold bars. We've expanded into forestry, utilizing high-tech harvesters and massive trailers to supply our own furniture factory. But it's not just about the industries, it's about the fleet we've built. The brand new John Deere, the high-speed mowers, the universal wrapper that handles any bale we throw at it, every single one of these investments was a strategic move that paid off. Our logistics are smoother, our production lines are faster, and the farm is finally becoming that self-sufficient powerhouse we always dreamed of. Seeing the entire operation working like a well-oiled machine, from the animal pens to the factories and the fields, is the ultimate reward. We've built something huge here, and we're only getting started. Welcome back to the farm for a brand new chapter. We are starting the day at full throttle because we have 2 massive fields of wheat that need to be harvested immediately. I am pushing this machine to its absolute limit, but as I look at the acres left to cut, I'm starting to realize something important. This combine has served us well for a long time, and it was a great investment back in the day, but honestly, our farm has grown so much that this setup is starting to feel a bit small. We are working faster, we have more land, and the sheer volume of grain we are producing is becoming too much for this veteran machine to handle efficiently. It is a bit frustrating when you feel the equipment holding back your progress. We need more speed, a wider header, and a much larger grain tank to keep the workflow smooth without constant stops. I think it is officially time to start looking for a successor, something bigger, faster, and more powerful that can keep up with our ambitions. But for now, we have to finish what we started with what we have. Let's get to work. The harvest is moving along, but now it is time for the most rewarding part of the job. We are clearing out the warehouses and preparing to sell every single thing we have produced on this farm recently. From the factory goods to the greenhouse crops, everything is being loaded up. We have a lot of capital sitting in these crates and pallets, and it is time to turn that hard work into cold, hard cash. After seeing how much our current equipment is struggling, every penny from this massive sale is going straight into the new machine fund. It is a huge logistical operation to move all this stock to the sell points, but seeing that bank balance climb makes it all worth it. We need to be smart about where and when we sell to get the best possible prices. The goal is simple: maximize the profit, stabilize the budget, and get ourselves closer to that dream upgrade. Let's get these convoys moving and see just how much this farm is actually worth. The wait is finally over, and I can finally reveal the newest addition to our fleet. Just take a look at this absolute masterpiece of engineering. This is our brand new cotton harvester, and it is unlike anything we have operated on this farm before. The design, the scale, and the technology inside this machine are just on a whole different level. Not Farming did a great job preparing the ground and seeding this crop recently, and now it is my turn to bring it in. We are moving into a completely new market today. Cotton is a high-value product, and I have high hopes that this crop is going to be our new gold. If this works out, the profit margins will be insane. Watching the harvester pick the cotton and form those massive heavy bales is incredible. It is a complex process, but this machine makes it look easy. We are literally weaving the future of this farm right here. Let's see how many bales we can get off this field and if the investment pays off as much as we expect. While the cotton harvest is underway, I cannot forget about our other major profit center. The biogas plants are hungry and they need a constant supply to keep the revenue flowing. So, I am hopping into a different tractor, hooking up the high-capacity trailer and heading straight back to the fields. Those grass bales we made earlier have had enough time to ferment properly, and now they have turned into high-quality silage. This is exactly what the biogas plant needs to produce energy and, more importantly, a steady stream of income for us. Loading these up is a repetitive task, but it is one of the most essential parts of our daily routine. I need to make sure I am efficient with my routes. Every trip to the hopper is a step closer to maximizing our daily output. It's a great feeling to see the entire cycle of the farm working together, from the first cut of the grass to the final delivery at the plant. Let's get these bales delivered and keep those digestate tanks filling up. To make sure our biogas plant never runs out of fuel, I am moving straight into the next phase of the operation. A high-output plant like ours needs an endless supply of material, so I am jumping back into the meadow for some heavy-duty mowing. I am using that recently purchased tractor, and I've got it paired with the matching brand name mower set. There is something incredibly satisfying about using a perfectly matched setup. The colors match, the power is exactly where it needs to be, and the performance is flawless. When the equipment is brand consistent like this, it feels like the whole machine was built for this exact task. I'm working at a steady pace to cover as much ground as possible. Every acre of grass I cut now is future energy and future profit for us. It is all about maintaining that momentum. If we keep the silos and the biogas plant full, the money just keeps rolling in. So, let's keep this blade spinning and get this field cleared. To break up the routine and keep things interesting, it is time to head back to the cotton field and finish what we started. I have to be honest with you, I am absolutely in love with this harvester. The comfort, the view from the cab, and the way it handles these massive bales. I could honestly sit in this seat for days and never get bored. But unfortunately, on a farm this size, time is a luxury we don't have, and there are a dozen other tasks waiting for my attention. As you can see, we are reaching the home stretch of our cotton adventure. The field is almost cleared, and we have a solid line of white gold ready for transport. This entire operation was a big bet, but it is definitely going to pay off. If you are curious about the actual numbers, just take a look at the top right corner of your screen. That is the kind of profit we are talking about when we deal with high-end crops like this. It's been a massive success, and seeing those final rows disappear into the header is incredibly satisfying, but the work never stops. Once the last bale is dropped, we're moving straight to the next big project. After that incredible experience with the cotton harvest, it is time to shift our gears and get back to our roots. The luxury machines were fun, but now we are returning to the bread and butter of our operation, mowing grass. It might seem simple, but the scale of what we need is actually massive. Our biogas plants are incredibly high capacity, and the most important thing is that they never stop producing. To keep that revenue stream constant, we need an enormous amount of material. The fermentation process is always running in the background, consuming everything we throw at it, so we can't afford even a single day of downtime. That is why I am back in the meadow, pushing the tractor to cover as much ground as possible before the next cycle begins. It is a never-ending cycle of mowing, collecting and delivering, but it is exactly what keeps our bank account growing. When you have an industrial-sized setup like ours, you realize that grass is just as valuable as gold if you manage it correctly. So, let's keep the blades spinning and make sure those biogas tanks stay filled to the brim. Every single acre of grass we cut today needs to be perfectly organized if we want the baling process to go smoothly. We can't afford any messy piles or missed spots, so everything has to be pulled into clean, tight windrows. If you look closely in the background, you can see that Not Farming is already on it. He is right behind me with the rake, following my lines and making sure the field is ready for the next stage of the operation. This is exactly how a high-level farm should operate. While I am focusing on the cutting speed, he is focusing on the precision of the rows. By working together like this, we are saving a massive amount of time and making sure the baler can run at its maximum efficiency later on. It is great to have a partner who knows exactly what needs to be done without even asking. Teamwork like this is what separates a small farm from a massive industrial empire. Wait, hold on a second. Just take a look at what is happening right here. As it turns out, our massive rake might actually be unnecessary after all. I was so focused on the power of this new tractor that I didn't realize just how advanced this mower setup really is. If you look closely at the back, you can see that it is automatically gathering the grass into clean, perfect rows the very second it cuts it. This changes everything for us. We are basically cutting out an entire stage of the process. Normally, we would have to drive over this field twice, once to cut and once to rake, but this machine is doing it all in a single pass. It is incredibly efficient and saves us so much time and fuel. Poor Not Farming is back there with the rake, probably wondering why his job just became obsolete. But honestly, this is exactly what we need to maximize our productivity. When you have equipment this smart, the whole farm moves to the next level. No more double work, just straight to the bale efficiency from here on out. Just when I thought the rake was going to stay in the shed, I figured out a way to make our operation even more efficient. Even though the mower puts the grass into rows, I've decided to put our massive rake to work for a different purpose. I am using it to combine those two separate rows into one single massive windrow. By doing this, I am literally cutting the number of passes on this field in half for the next stage of the job. Think about the logic here. When the baler comes through, it won't have to drive back and forth across the entire field as many times. It's going to have a much thicker, heavier stream of grass to process in one go. This is all about saving time, reducing wear on the machines, and burning less fuel. It's actually quite impressive to see how much material is piling up in these mega rows. It takes a bit more precision to drive, but the payoff is huge. This is exactly how you manage a large-scale farm, always looking for ways to streamline the process and work smarter, not harder. Now the field is truly ready for some high-speed baling. Just look at the speed of this operation now. Because those mega rows are so thick and well organized, the baler is working at its absolute maximum capacity. The bales are popping out one after another so fast it is almost hard to keep track of them. It is honestly incredible to see how just a few strategic changes in our workflow can have such a massive impact on both our comfort and the overall speed of the job. Earlier we were struggling with smaller equipment and multiple passes, but now everything feels like a high-speed production line. This is exactly why we invest in better technology and think about the logic behind every move. We are not just working harder, we are working significantly faster and with much less effort than before. Seeing the field get covered in these fresh bales in a matter of minutes is one of the most satisfying things I've witnessed on this farm so far. It proves that if you have the right setup and the right plan, even the biggest tasks become a breeze. Let's keep this momentum going and finish this field in a record time. And now, for the ultimate conclusion of our challenge, we are embarking on our biggest project yet. We are creating a massive, brand new field that will serve as the crowning achievement of everything we've built so far. This isn't just a small expansion, it's a total transformation of the landscape. Our plan is to seed and harvest this entire area very soon using only our absolute best equipment. But there is an even bigger change coming. The veteran combine that has been with us through thick and thin is officially retiring. In its place, we are bringing in a fleet of new, massive, and state-of-the-art machines that are going to redefine what speed and power look like on this farm. We are moving away from the old ways and stepping into a new era of industrial-scale farming. It is going to be a lot of work to get this ground ready, but the vision of seeing those new giants rolling across this field is what keeps us going. Everything we have done today, the gold, the cotton, the biogas, has led us to this specific moment. The scale is growing, the stakes are higher, and the future of this farm has never looked brighter. Get ready, because the next chapter is going to be legendary. Before we fully commit to the new field project, we have to make one more crucial stop. Our gold bar factory is the engine that fuels our bank account, and we can't afford to let it sit idle. I'm making a quick run to top off the hoppers with a fresh load of stones and dirt. It only takes a few minutes, but the payoff is massive once those machines start processing. We need every single gold bar we can get to fund the massive upgrades we have planned. Keeping the production line running at 100% capacity is the only way to stay on top of our finances while we expand the farm. Once this is loaded and the gold is flowing, we can finally turn our full attention to the new territory. No excuses. If we want the best equipment, we need the gold to pay for it. Just take a second to look at the scale of what we are doing right here. The progress we've made is honestly incredible. I am sitting in the cab of this massive green John Deere right now, and the view is spectacular. There is a special kind of power you feel when you are operating a machine of this size, especially when you are pulling this enormous seeder behind you. This setup is the definition of efficiency. Because the seeder is so wide, we are covering huge sections of the new field in every single pass. Watching the GPS lock in and the ground being transformed behind us is exactly why we worked so hard to afford this equipment. We've moved from small-scale farming to a professional, industrial operation. This field is going to be our biggest harvest yet, and doing it with the best tools in the game makes the whole experience much more satisfying. Before we move on to our massive harvesting operation, we need to handle the business side of the farm. We've been working non-stop, and our warehouses are packed to the rafters with everything we have produced lately. From the stacks of gold bars to the furniture, the fabric, and the silage, it is all ready to go. It is time to clear out our entire inventory and turn all that effort into a serious amount of money. This isn't just a regular sale. This is about cashing in on our entire production cycle. We want to see that bank balance jump to a whole new level before we start our next big project. Every trailer load we deliver right now is bringing us closer to total financial freedom on this farm. It is incredibly satisfying to see the fruits of our labor finally hitting the market. Just watch that money roll in. Having this much capital gives us the power to buy whatever we want and ensures that our expansion will be unstoppable. Finally, the moment we have all been waiting for has arrived. We can officially say that we have reached the pinnacle of success on this farm. Take a look at these beauties, our brand new New Holland harvesters. They are massive, they are bright yellow, and they are exactly what we've been dreaming of since day one. The scale of these machines is just mind-blowing. Thanks to their incredibly wide headers, we can clear a massive section of the field in a single pass. It is pure power and efficiency combined. Right now I am starting the operation solo, but Not Farming will be joining me very soon. Seeing two of these giants working side by side is going to be a sight to behold. But we didn't stop at just the harvesters. To keep up with this kind of speed, we've also upgraded our entire logistics fleet. We have new tractors and high-capacity trailers ready to haul the wheat straight to the sell points. Everything is finally falling into place. The workflow is perfect, the equipment is world-class, and the farm is operating like a true industrial empire. This is what peak performance looks like. Let's get these headers down and start the ultimate harvest. Take a look at all of this one more time. Seriously, let's just stop for a second and stare at that horizon. When I look at these massive golden New Holland harvesters today, gracefully cutting through those endless waves of grain, it's almost hard to believe where it all began. Do you remember our first steps? Do you remember those old, rusty machines that were barely holding together on our first tiny plots of land? Back then, all of this felt like a distant dream, a blurry vision of a great farm that, today, has finally become our reality. Every single square meter of this land you see now has its own story to tell. Every field that now bows its golden head before our new machinery was fought for. We reclaimed this land from nature through sheer, exhausting hard work. This wasn't just a game to us, it was a masterclass in patience, strategy, and pure persistence. Every pass with the tractor, every long night spent calculating logistics, every delivery that had to arrive exactly on time, these were the bricks we used to build this unstoppable empire. Think back to the thrill we felt when we took our first steps into the mining industry. We risked everything to get that gold factory running, learning how to turn raw stones into pure, shimmering profit. That was the turning point. That was when we realized we could achieve something monumental. Then came the forests, those dark, dense woods that we conquered with heavy harvesters to feed our own furniture factory. We never backed down from a challenge. When we moved into cotton, we knew it was a high-stakes gamble, but the sight of those massive white bales across the field made every single penny worth it. But this farm is about so much more than just machines and the numbers in our bank account. Above all else, it's about the partnership. It's about the hundreds of hours spent working side by side with Not Farming. One of us would mow while the other raked. One would push the harvester to its limit while the other scrambled to make sure the trailers were always there to catch the grain. That teamwork became the true engine of our success. Together, we transformed a quiet countryside into the high-tech, automated heart of an industrial revolution. Today, standing here and feeling the weight of this achievement, I feel a profound sense of pride. These New Holland giants, with their massive headers and those powerful John Deere tractors, they aren't just expensive toys. They are the ultimate proof that our vision was right. They are symbols of the fact that hard work, determination, and a clear goal will always lead you to the summit. We made the journey from a small-time farmer to an industrial tycoon. Every failure taught us a lesson, and every success fueled our fire to go bigger. I want to thank you for being with us through every single one of these moments, for watching us build all of this from nothing. Without your support, this journey wouldn't have felt the same. Look at these machines one last time, they are the trophy for never giving up. The challenge is complete, the dream is realized. But you know what? Looking out over these fields, I have a feeling this isn't the end. This is just a solid foundation for something even bigger that's coming next. Our story is far from over, we are just getting started.